Hello, and welcome back to Daily Talk Lessons. Cooking is one of my favorite things in the world, and I feel excited to talk about it. I think cooking can be simple, fun, and full of warm feelings. Many beginners feel scared to start, but really, cooking can be easy. Today, we will talk slowly and clearly so everyone can understand. I hope our listeners feel relaxed and excited with us. Let's enjoy this cooking journey together.
Thank you, Anna, and hello to everyone listening. I am also very happy today because cooking is something that makes life better. It can make your home smell wonderful, and it can make you feel proud. Even simple food can give you joy. We will speak with easy English and friendly examples, so if you are A1 or A2 level, don't worry, you can follow everything. Let's begin our cooking podcast with warm hearts and happy energy.
I want to start with something very simple, cooking at home with basic ingredients. Many people think they need expensive tools or special skills, but that is not true. Even with a pan, a knife, and a few vegetables, you can make something delicious. I remember when I started cooking, I only knew how to make scrambled eggs, but it made me so happy. Cooking at home is also relaxing because you can take your time. You can listen to music, breathe slowly, and enjoy the smell of food. It feels like a small, warm hug inside your kitchen.
I agree so much, Anna. When I started cooking, I also had very little experience, but I learned step by step. Simple dishes like rice, eggs, and vegetables help you build confidence. I love the feeling when something smells good in the pan. It makes me smile. Cooking at home also saves money, and you know what ingredients you use. You can choose healthy things or tasty things, depending on your mood. And even if it is not perfect, it still feels great because you made it yourself.
One dish I always recommend for beginners is vegetable stir-fry. It is quick, colorful, and you can choose your favorite vegetables. You don't need many spices, just salt, pepper, and maybe a bit of soy sauce. When I cook it, the sound of the vegetables frying makes me happy. It reminds me that cooking is alive and full of movement. And when I finish, the plate looks bright and beautiful. It always makes me think, wow, I did this.
Vegetable stir-fry is a great idea, and it's easy to change flavors. You can add chicken, tofu, or even noodles. When beginners try it, they often feel surprised because it tastes better than they expect. I love when cooking surprises me like that. The best part is that you can make it fast, even after a long day. And when you eat something warm that you made with your own hands, it feels comforting. It's a simple but meaningful way to take care of yourself.
Another thing I like to tell beginners is don't be afraid of mistakes. I burned food many times before I learned how to keep the heat low. Sometimes I cut vegetables too big or too small, but that's okay too. Cooking is like learning a new language. You improve with practice. I want beginners to smile even when something goes wrong. Every mistake is just a step to becoming better. And sometimes mistakes make funny memories you never forget.
That is so true, Anna. I remember one time I added too much salt and the soup became almost impossible to eat. But I laughed, learned my lesson, and tried again the next day. The more you cook, the more comfortable you feel. Soon you start to understand heat, smell, and timing. And then cooking becomes fun instead of scary. I want everyone listening to feel confident and relaxed. We're all learning together, and cooking is a happy journey.
When I think about cooking for beginners, I always remember how important it is to start with easy recipes. Sometimes people choose something too difficult and then they feel stressed or disappointed. But cooking should make you feel calm and happy, not worried. I tell my friends to start with things like sandwiches, salads, or simple soups. These foods don't take a long time and they don't need many steps. When you finish them, you feel proud, and that pride gives you motivation to try more.
I completely understand what you mean, Anna. When people start simple, they build small successes, and those successes build confidence. I always say, start small, but cook with love. Even a basic sandwich tastes good when you make it with care. And beginners don't need to rush. They can enjoy the process slowly. Cooking is not a race. It is a moment to enjoy yourself. Easy dishes help you feel that joy early.
I also think beginners should use ingredients they already like. If you enjoy potatoes, start with potato dishes. If you enjoy tomatoes, make something simple with tomatoes. Cooking tastes better when you use foods that make you happy. When I started, I cooked with eggs all the time because I loved them and it made learning easier. Comfort ingredients help you feel excited to cook again, and excitement is the best teacher for any beginner.
That is a wonderful idea. When people cook with ingredients they love, they feel more connected to the food. It also helps reduce fear because you already know the taste. I remember learning with chicken because it was my favorite. I tried many different small recipes, and each time I learned something new. So choosing familiar foods is a great way to grow. It makes cooking feel like a friendly activity instead of something difficult.
Another helpful tip for beginners is to prepare everything before cooking. This means cutting vegetables, measuring ingredients, and placing them in small bowls. When I started doing this, I felt more organized and less stressed. It also makes the cooking process smoother because you don't need to run around during cooking. You can focus on mixing, stirring, and enjoying the moment. Preparing early is like giving yourself a small gift. It makes cooking much more enjoyable.
Yes, preparation is such an important step. Many beginners don't realize how much easier cooking becomes when everything is ready. When I started preparing early, my cooking improved immediately. I felt calm, focused, and in control of the kitchen. It also helps avoid mistakes like burning something while cutting something else. Preparation brings a peaceful feeling to cooking, and peace is something everyone loves in the kitchen.
Something that helped me become better is watching the food while it cooks. Beginners often turn away or look at their phones, but food needs attention. When you watch closely, you learn how heat changes color, shape, and smell. It feels almost like magic when vegetables slowly become softer and brighter. Paying attention teaches you more than any book, and it helps you connect with the food you are making.
That is such a great point. When you watch the food, you start to understand timing naturally. You learn when something is ready just by looking or smelling. These small observations build cooking instincts, and instincts make cooking easier. I love that moment when the smell becomes rich and warm. It feels like the food is telling you, "I'm ready." Beginners will feel more confident when they listen to their senses.
I also think it's good for beginners to cook with another person sometimes. Cooking together makes the kitchen feel friendly and warm. You can share tasks, laugh at mistakes, and celebrate small successes. When someone cooks with you, the whole experience feels lighter. Many of my best cooking memories are with friends or family. Even simple recipes feel special when you make them together. It brings a lot of joy.
I agree completely. Cooking with someone else creates a wonderful atmosphere. You feel connected and supported, and the food tastes even better because of the shared energy. You can learn new ideas or small tricks from the other person. It's also fun to talk about flavors or ingredients while cooking. And when you sit down to eat together, the meal feels meaningful. Cooking becomes not just food, but a memory.
When we talk about cooking, we must talk about flavors because flavors make food exciting. I love how different spices can change a simple dish into something special. Even salt and pepper can make a big difference when you use them the right way. For beginners, I always say start with a little, not too much. You can always add more later, but you can't take it out. Flavors are like small voices in the food, and each spice has its own personality. Learning them is like making new friends in the kitchen.
I really like that idea, Anna. Spices as little voices. When I started cooking, I was scared of spices because I thought I would ruin everything. But when I tried small amounts, I realized how gentle and helpful spices can be. Garlic powder, paprika, and dried herbs quickly became my favorites. They make the food smell warm and inviting. For beginners, it's good to explore slowly and enjoy each new flavor. Cooking becomes more fun when you discover a spice you love.
One flavor I love is garlic. It smells strong, but when you cook it, the smell becomes soft and warm. Garlic makes me feel at home, like a cozy evening with family. I like to chop it, slice it, or crush it depending on the dish. When it touches the hot pan, the sound and smell make me smile. It's a simple ingredient, but it brings so much comfort. Beginners can start with garlic because it makes food delicious without needing too many steps.
Garlic is amazing, and it brings life to many dishes. I use it when I make pasta, rice, soups, or even simple vegetables. The moment garlic hits the oil, I feel excited because I know something good is coming. Even when I'm tired, the smell gives me energy. Beginners often feel surprised when they see how much flavor just one clove can add. Garlic teaches us that small things can make a big difference in cooking.
Another lovely ingredient for beginners is onion. Cutting an onion can make you cry, but the taste is worth it. When an onion cooks, it becomes sweet and soft, and it makes dishes richer. Many easy recipes use onions as a base, so learning how to chop one is very useful. I remember practicing slowly at first because I was afraid of cutting my fingers, but over time I became faster and more confident. Onions show beginners that practice really does help.
Yes, onions are wonderful building blocks in the kitchen. I think they are one of the first ingredients beginners should learn to use. They work well with almost everything: rice, soups, meat, or salads. When you fry them, the golden color looks beautiful and the smell feels warm and homey. Cutting them takes time, but that time teaches patience, and patience is an important part of cooking. The more you use onions, the more natural it feels.
Some beginners worry about cooking because they think everything must be perfect. But cooking is not about perfection, it's about feeling and enjoying. When I cook something simple, like fried eggs, I don't focus on perfection. I listen to the sound, I smell the aroma, and I enjoy the moment. Cooking becomes beautiful when you stop trying to be perfect. It feels like a small moment of freedom. Beginners should remember that even imperfect food can be full of love.
I completely agree. Sometimes my food looks messy, but it tastes great, and that is enough. Cooking is more like a conversation between you and the ingredients. You can learn from mistakes, laugh at them, and try again. When beginners relax, their food often becomes better. I want people to feel the happiness behind cooking, not the pressure. Cooking with joy always tastes better than cooking with stress.
Another reason I love cooking is that it lets you express emotions. When I feel happy, I cook bright and colorful dishes with vegetables. When I feel tired, I make warm soups that comfort me. Cooking can match your feelings or help change them. It's like a quiet friend who listens without speaking. Beginners should explore cooking as a way to express themselves. It brings a lot of peace and creativity into daily life.
That's so true, Anna. When I'm lonely, cooking makes me feel less alone because the process keeps me company. When I'm excited, I try new flavors or new ingredients. Cooking is a safe space where feelings can become something delicious. Even simple meals can carry emotion inside them. Beginners will enjoy cooking more when they notice how it connects to their feelings. It's a very personal and meaningful activity.
Let's also talk about taste balance because it helps beginners understand flavors better. Taste balance means mixing salty, sweet, sour, and sometimes spicy flavors in the right way. Even simple dishes have balance, like adding a little lemon to fish or a little sugar to tomato sauce. These small touches make the food more interesting. When beginners learn this, their cooking becomes more exciting. Taste balance is like painting with food. Each flavor is a color, and you create your own picture.
Taste balance is such a helpful idea. When I discovered that a tiny bit of lemon can change everything, I felt like I opened a secret door in cooking. Beginners can try small adjustments and see how the taste changes. It's fun, almost like an experiment. You can try adding a bit more salt, or a little oil, or a little spice. Slowly, you learn how flavors work together. And when you get the balance right, you feel a little proud smile inside.
Another thing beginners should know is that cooking becomes easier when you use your senses. Your eyes can see when something starts to turn golden. Your ears can hear the sound of boiling or frying. Your hands can feel if a vegetable is soft or still hard. Your nose can smell when something is ready, and your tongue will tell you if the flavor is good. When you trust your senses, cooking becomes more natural.
Yes, using your senses makes cooking feel alive. When I began, I relied too much on written instructions. I only looked at the timer without watching the food. But when I started to listen and smell, everything changed. I felt more connected to the food. Cooking turned into a real experience instead of just a task. I think beginners grow faster when they trust what they see, hear, and smell.
I also want to talk about kitchen safety because it is very important for beginners. Many people feel scared of knives, fire, or hot oil, but when you move slowly and carefully, the kitchen becomes a safe place. Always keep your fingers away from the blade and use a cutting board. Keep the handle of the pan turned to the side so it doesn't hit your hand, and never rush. Slow cooking is safe cooking. Safety helps you relax and enjoy the process.
Safety is something I learned through experience. I burned my hand once because I touched a hot pan without checking. After that, I became more careful. I always test the heat before touching anything. I also keep a small towel nearby in case I need to hold something warm. When beginners stay safe, they feel more confident, and confidence makes cooking enjoyable.
Cooking becomes even more special when you cook for someone else. When I make food for family or friends, I feel warm and happy inside. It feels like giving a small gift from the heart. Even simple dishes make people smile, and that smile makes me feel proud. Beginners can start by cooking for one person they care about. It doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs love. Cooking for others brings people closer together.
I feel the same way, Anna. When I cook for someone, I feel connected to them in a special way. Sharing food is like sharing a piece of yourself. People appreciate the time and care you put into the meal. Even a simple bowl of noodles can feel meaningful. Beginners should try this because it builds confidence and spreads joy. Cooking is a beautiful way to show love.
Sometimes cooking is also a fun activity, not just something necessary. I love trying funny shapes, different colors, or new ingredients. It makes me feel creative, almost like an artist. Beginners can play with ideas too, even if they are very simple. For example, making colorful salads or smiley face pancakes. These small, fun ideas make cooking exciting. When cooking feels playful, it becomes something you want to do again and again.
Yes, cooking can be full of creativity. I once tried making a pizza in a heart shape, and it made everyone laugh. Food can bring joy even before you taste it. Beginners should not be afraid to experiment. Trying new shapes or new toppings can be enjoyable and relaxing. Cooking becomes a hobby rather than a chore. Creativity keeps the kitchen full of positive energy.
I also love the way cooking makes my home smell warm and cozy. The smell of soup, bread, or fried onions makes me feel safe and comfortable. Even when I'm tired or stressed, good smells help me relax. Beginners can enjoy this too, because simple food also brings wonderful smells. The kitchen becomes a peaceful place where you can breathe deeply. Smell is a big part of cooking joy. It fills the house with calm feelings.
That is so true. When something is cooking, the house feels alive. Even boiling rice has a soft, comforting smell. It reminds me that food is not just for the body, but also for the heart. Beginners often feel surprised by how good their kitchen smells when they cook. That smell gives motivation to continue. A warm kitchen smell is like a soft hug after a long day.
Another beautiful thing about cooking is learning new things all the time. Even now, I learn something almost every week. Maybe a new vegetable, a new sauce, or a new way to cut something. Cooking never stops teaching you. Beginners can enjoy this slow and happy learning process. You don't need to rush. You can learn one small thing at a time. Cooking grows with you, step by step.
Exactly. Learning never ends in the kitchen. I also discover something new every time I try a new recipe. Sometimes I learn from mistakes, sometimes from success. Beginners should enjoy every lesson, even the small ones. Over time, you feel more confident and more skilled. Cooking becomes a journey of growth. And this journey feels good, not stressful.
Cooking also helps me feel more connected to myself. When I chop vegetables or stir a pot, I feel grounded. It slows my mind and helps me focus on the present moment. Beginners might find that cooking helps them relax too. It is like a gentle break from the busy world. You listen to the sounds and smells instead of thinking too much. Cooking becomes a moment of peace.
I feel the same, Anna. Cooking helps me clear my mind after a busy day. When I cook, I stop worrying about work or problems. I just enjoy the small steps, cutting, stirring, tasting. Beginners will discover how calming cooking can be. It's almost like meditation, but with delicious results. Cooking brings peace and comfort to everyday life.
Cooking can also bring people together in fun ways. For example, cooking with children, cooking with a partner, or cooking with friends. Everyone can help a little, and it becomes a shared experience. You laugh, talk, and enjoy the process. Beginners can invite someone to cook together, even if everything is simple. Working together makes the kitchen feel alive. Cooking becomes a happy group activity.
Cooking with others always brings great memories. I remember making cookies with friends, and the kitchen was full of laughter. Even when we made mistakes, it was still fun. Beginners should try cooking with someone they trust. It makes the kitchen feel warm and comfortable. You learn together and enjoy the results together. Shared cooking creates memories that last a long time.
Sometimes people say they don't have time to cook, but even small meals can be quick. A simple salad, a small stir-fry, or a sandwich can take less than 10 minutes. Beginners don't need to cook big meals. Small cooking is still cooking. The goal is to enjoy the moment and practice. Even 5 minutes in the kitchen can make you feel better. Small steps still count.
Yes, simple meals are wonderful for busy days. I often make fast dishes when I don't have energy. Even a quick omelet can feel warm and satisfying. Beginners should not feel pressure to cook for a long time. Quick food can be healthy and delicious too. Time doesn't matter as much as the feeling you put into the meal. Small cooking moments still bring joy.
Another great thing is learning recipes from different cultures. You can explore the world through food. Even simple dishes from other countries taste exciting and new. Beginners can try easy recipes like pasta, fried rice, or tacos. When you cook food from different places, you learn about traditions and flavors. It feels like traveling without leaving your home. Cooking opens the door to the world.
Yes, cooking from different cultures is amazing. I love trying dishes from Japan, Italy, and Mexico. Each culture has its own style and taste. Beginners can start with the easy versions and slowly learn more. Trying international food makes cooking more interesting. It expands your ideas and helps you grow. Food brings the world to your kitchen.
I feel so happy that we could talk about cooking today. Cooking is simple, fun, and full of warm feelings, and I hope our listeners feel more confident now. Even if you are a beginner, you can start with small steps and enjoy every moment. Remember that cooking does not need to be perfect. It just needs your heart. I want everyone to try one simple recipe this week, something easy and comforting. I believe you will feel proud after you make it. Thank you for joining us and spending this time together.
Yes, this was a wonderful conversation, Anna. I hope everyone listening feels inspired to try cooking at home. It does not matter if the dish is small, simple, or new. Every dish is a good step forward. Cooking is a beautiful part of life, and everyone can learn it slowly. I want our listeners to enjoy the smells, the sounds, and the warm feelings in the kitchen. Thank you for being here with us today. We are excited to see you again in our next podcast.